All right, we're moving right along. So once I review your listing, once you have a title and a draft and the photos are in order, I will go ahead and publish them to Poshmark. If you see that it is only published to Poshmark, that means it is in perfect condition for you to go ahead and cross-list it. So when you're cross-listing it, you may have to go to this website, if it's not already, and copy down the price and put it in List Perfectly. Sometimes it uploads and sometimes it does not, so just be very careful. So we're going to go ahead and put the price, 59, update. And now that the price has been uploaded, what we're going to do is we are going to cross-list it. So there are 3 other platforms besides Poshmark that I use. I use eBay, Mercari, and Tradesy. Now, everything always gets posted to eBay and Mercari. However, we only want to post to Tradesy if it's more than $50. Because this is $59, we're going to go ahead and copy it there. So I'm going to write copy, and it's going to process them. We'll go ahead and give it another minute. It'll autofill it for most of our categories here. Now, sometimes the photos won't load and you'll have to do this process all over again. So just make sure that the photos load when you do this. Our title is good. We have our listing here. Hashtags are optional. I usually like to add a few that are in here. So Bohemian. Sometimes you can add some from the description that's not in the title. This is a woman's blouse. Size medium. Unless stated, we'll have it good. This is fine. Now shipping is where it gets a little interesting. So I always like to put that tops and blouses, mini skirts and mini dresses are always 1 pound. And if they are 1 pound in Mercari, I always like to click the first class and leave it at that. In times where there are options for 2 pounds, so any item that is 2 pounds, I would consider jeans, sweaters, midi or maxi dresses, I would go ahead and select this one, UPS SurePost. I'm going to go back and edit this for a second because this item was 1 pound at most for being a blouse. And I always use this Mercari local and shipping to offer the buyers both options on Mercari. I go ahead and I set it at 59. On Mercari, I will use a set floor price that's automated using the price that I have here. I usually disregard this feature as I'm doing my own research, so don't pay attention to the suggested price. And then we're going to list it. So that is Mercari. Next up is eBay. So eBay, you always just make sure this category is right. This is a pre-owned item. I don't do condition description. Photos are in the order that I uploaded them. This size type is regular. All the required are filled out, so I'm good here. Now from time, as I go down, if there are some of these that seem really apparent, I'll go ahead and click them. This looked to be like a V-neck line, so I'm going to go ahead, click V-neck. It's a basic style. There's some floral details. And it's a casual piece. I definitely don't hit all of them. But if you see some on the way down, feel free to add them. I also don't pay attention to this very much unless I'm listing myself, so don't worry about this. You can go ahead and leave this as your buy it now price. Much like Mercari, this is just a blouse. I always add the dimensions as 11, 11, 11, and that should be fine. And it should be 15 ounces or 1 pound, either or. I always put a item visibility premium placement for promoted listings at 1%. And I always offer a discount of 2 or more for 10. So you can just select this box and we can go ahead and list it. And that is Mercari, or that is eBay, excuse me. Again, the only thing to be really concerned about eBay is putting in the right weight. If it's a jean, sweater, midi, or maxi dress, go ahead and put it as 2 pounds. If you have boots or a jacket, go ahead and put them as 2 pounds and 15 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to Tradesy. This is the last site we use, and we don't use Tradesy all the time. It's just for items over 50. So I know that this is a blouse. I know it's Free People. I'm going to estimate that it's a size 8 or an M. There's no signs of wear and no retail tags attached. Now I'm going to go back here, copy my title, add them here, and same as I did before, I'm going to add some tags here. So boho, embellished, beaded, embroidered, and relaxed, sure. So long as these show up in our title or description, then they're fine. Again, you can copy down the retail price. This was $168, but we want to sell it closer to $69. Now, the smart pricing we can turn on, and I would advise only turning it down to about 10%. So if it's 59, I'm going to put times 0.9. I only want it to go down to 53 or 52. And for this option, I almost always choose the prepaid shipping label so it can print one out for me. All right. So it looks like our listing is now live on Tradesy. The last thing I like to do just to make sure is to go to List Perfectly and to make sure that my item has shown up on all the platforms I cross-posted it to: eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Tradesy. Once this item is cross-posted, that is all you need to do. You move on to the next one that says just Poshmark to list.